who can see through others and know them better than themselves, and who can see within himself and see the truth. All these come together to form my reasons for loving God. But I also find that there are reasonless reasons in me for loving God. And one of the big ones is curiosity. I just want to know. Know what? Everything. Absolutely everything. Why? I just want to know. Why do you just want to know? I don't know. I just want to know. And the other big reasonless reason is because I have, to some extent, fallen in love with Baba. I find him most fascinating, so fascinating, as if he were fascination itself. These reasonless reasons were the treasures. They are the treasures that even kings could envy. These reasonless reasons must be protected with all the sincerity that we can muster, so that our efforts can stay effortless efforts, thereby natural and spontaneous. Sincere efforts are effortless efforts. This is another one from Darwin Shaw that really caught me. Sincere efforts are effortless efforts. These revealed truths also helped me realize that I could sublimate my fears by saying things like, listen, Mark, there's really nothing to worry about. Let me explain to you the situation that you are in, so listen carefully. What we have here is a situation wherein an omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent being is for some reason on your side and loves you infinitely. So you really don't have anything to worry about. I realized that I could attack pride with the philosopher in me by saying things like, well, if we really are one, all of us really one, then there really wouldn't be any point in being better than anybody, would there? Yeah, that would pretty much take all the fun out of being better than anybody.
But are we aware of it?
Huh?
Are we aware that we are all one?
When I get proud, sometimes it takes control of me. I really don't know, but what I know is it's hard to be proud after you assimilate what Baba says, when everything's one and it just doesn't jive. Yeah. Once you put in Baba's rationale, it seems, the other stuff won't fit in. Yeah. As one by one I attack my reasons for loving God, I found it rather strange that while these selfish reasons for loving God were dissipating, my love for God was not dissipating. In fact, I felt it increasing. Further, I found it ironic that reason was what I was using to destroy my reasons. The intellect was being used for its own murder. Sort of like cooking yourself in your own fat. Armed with the sacred machete of honesty, and with the revealed truths as my guide, I courageously hack away at my reasons for loving God. I realized that trying not to worry was not something you can make yourself do. Not forcefully anyway. That courage was not something you could coerce into existence. Courage comes from conviction. Your conviction comes from how convinced you actually are. And to be convinced about these revealed truths, you had to live them. You have to live it and find out. You have to take a chance. That's what I learned. I'm not necessarily recommending that everybody take a chance, but as the guinea pig, I have taken some chances. as we rid our love of all its reasons, not by force, but through assimilation and understanding of Baba's guidance. And as reasonless reasons start to dominate the landscape of our love, something unexpected starts to happen. Sincerity starts to brew. Sincerity is nothing if not reasonless. If your love for someone hinges on reasons, when those reasons go, so goes the love. But love, if sincere, can never dissipate. We know that. Sincere love never dies. It never dies because it doesn't owe its existence to anything perishable. In fact, I will go so far as to say that reasons infringe on our sincerity. True sincerity requires the complete absence of reason. In other words, every reason you have for loving someone can be deducted from your love sincerity. That is why I find relief that God loves me for no reason at all. Because if He loved me for a reason, like say, because I was a good boy, then it would follow that He may not love me anymore if I were a bad boy. And I can be a bad boy sometimes. Yeah, my wife knows. And it is a great source of comfort and relief for me knowing that His love is not based on conditions of reason. We all know this. When someone helps you out in a big way and for absolutely no reason, absolutely no possible return of gain or even praise, what do we say about such people? We say they are sincere. We say they are sincere because we acutely recognize the very lack of reason in them. Thus, we become sincere through our search for sincerity, and this search for sincerity within us manifests itself as the clearing out of our reasons for loving, for being modest, and for being shy. Now, so far, everything I'm talking about here, really, what is being described here is not so much a spiritual process. It is the process of just becoming a real human being, a decent and sincere, real human being. It's nothing special or even spiritual, for that matter. It should be what we call a normal person. You know, I imagine that maybe 500-600 years from now, as Baba says, he says when He comes back, there won't be that much to fix as compared to now. I got the feeling that sincerity would be something very prevalent at that time. Like there would be a vast awakening and people will just have higher levels of sincerity. If the spiritual journey takes you from, say, 0 to 10, I'm talking about getting to 0 from -5. Yeah. It's about becoming a child again. For we must at least be sincere with ourselves if we are to be sincere about anything, let alone loving God. When Baba says that it is better to be an atheist than to be a hypocrite, he is telling us that there is something noble about an honest doubt. That at times there is more faith in an honest doubt. If we have sincere doubts about something, then we must be honest with ourselves and doubt it. Even God. For one mustn't forcibly make oneself believe anything. For that could only make us believe insincerely. Yeah. Everything you believe insincerely are things that you've made yourself believe, which inevitably evolves into hypocrisy. How do we know this? Baba tells us in the revealed truth. And for the question of how do we get humble, Baba says in the call, only he who is great can be truly humble. Humility is the natural result of greatness. It springs from knowledge without effort, spontaneously. Our humility is none of our business. Hafiz says, in a quote translated by Baba himself, quote, "The distance between you and God is none of your business. Humility will come naturally when God makes us great. And it is His business to make us humble, through knowledge, not ours. And when we try to be humble, we are just getting in the way, getting in His way with modesty. He is telling us that when it comes to humility, we must let go and let God." Well, that's what I have today. Yeah. Any questions?